So, vRealtor, I'd like to present to you guys today virtual reality for real estate. So, with no special equipment or any software installation, now you can access a VR environment on your laptop or mobile. Let's dive right into the demonstration. So going into Showcase using Razzle Data Bridge API, thank you very much. So we have a listing of properties that you can see right here. I've went ahead and put in a 360 environment. Let's go into one of them. And you can see here, let's go around, we can go up, we can go down. There's a viewer currently, which is myself on the left-hand corner. And there's the realtor information and the phone number. Can change the colors, of course. And if I go into one of the labels, let's go, click on it, get the label. If I click on one of the portals, you can load into another room. As you know, most of us, we have a mobile phone. So how does it look like on a mobile? Let me go in and do a mirror. It's looking good. Let's go into Showcase again. I'm going to go ahead and click in. And of course, this is depending on the Wi-Fi connection that you're looking at. So let's hope it works. Oh, yeah. And if you look behind right now, I'm actually moving my phone. Oh, come on. All right, there you go. Okay, the lag is due to over here. If you look on your phone, it's really smooth. And if I go into, let's look for, all right. So this is a full screen mode that you're currently looking at. And the right-hand corner, you can see a toggle button, okay? Let's see what happens when I toggle it. Automatically, it gives you a split screen. If you have a VR headset, for example, a Google Cardboard right here, sorry you can't see it, but put your phone into the Google Cardboard and it'll give you a more immersive experience viewing this property. Right? Dive right into showing you how easy it is to add a property. Going into New, using Bridge API again, I'm going to fetch the information. Adding a thumbnail. Let's say this is the balcony. Click on Submit. And it's successfully added. So if I go in and click on Annotate, very easily I can add a label. And that's how you add a room. You can add multiple labels. And I'm going to do next is to add a portal to the next room. Going to New again. Just create it for street. Now we're going to add a bathroom. So let's do that. Okay. So remember we've added a balcony just now. It's kind of weird that you're adding and linking up a balcony to the bathroom, but this is an awesome bathroom, so why don't we just link it back? And there you go. This is the label we just added. Awesome. Let's add a portal back to the bath. And now we have a full functioning 360 environment by using 360 images. And also, I would like to share next is what we can do. Oh, so I have the realtor name and the contact number. So to get an even more immersive experience for your clients, we can also input, why not, videos. So let me go in and show you a video. It's okay. So audio is also supported, and at the same time, the labels is still supported in videos as well. And of course, it's 360. And you can also teleport back to a room or to another video. So this is my demonstration today, virtual reality for real estate, and you see it first here at RezoData.com.
Thank you so much, Novia. Who is next up and ready back there? Yeah, okay, so Let's Butterfly was one of our winners yesterday. So they are going to show you their entry into the data comp real quick. Again, from the back corner.
Hi, my name is Haytham El-Baik. I'm the co-founder and CEO for Let's Butterfly. If you guys can turn around a little bit, I'll talk a little bit before showing a demo. So Let's Butterfly takes a look at the real estate market as a whole. We've been looking at every single component of the real estate market, and that includes whether you're a realtor or you're an appraisal or an inspector. We believe that those parts of the components of the real estate industry is very important to help elevate that forward. What we've discovered looking into that is that there was a lot of friction in this industry. Internally, we have something we call TTR, time to resolution. Every process, every workflow takes time, and some of those takes way long time. Our goal is to reduce that as close to zero as much as possible, or even take away a lot of these, replace them with something more efficient. Number two, what we've discovered is that everybody's on the go. Mobile is the way to go. So we have to figure out how to do all the complexities that the industry needs to do on the mobile. And more importantly is about data. And it's not just shallow data, but contextual data that you can act upon. Data, whether it's third party, whether from MLS, or whether you're on location at the property itself. And last but not least, we wanted to have the most important mission is education. We believe that no matter if you're in the industry for a very long time or you just got into the industry, education plays a big important to help elevate the whole thing altogether. Now, we were doing this in 4 phases. Today, I'm going to demo phase 1 and maybe a little bit of phase 2. And phase 1 starts at the door, before we even put the home for sale. Today, an agent, when they want to sell a home, they research the home a little bit beforehand. And then they have to drive over to the client, sit down with them, get some notes down on a piece of paper, see what needs to be fixed, and get more information that's not available on the MLS data. And then they have to go back to their office, download information about comps, get an understanding of the market, and even figure out, maybe builders associations, to figure out what the pricing all comes together. Do adjusting, do a lot of math, then come back to the client later on and sit down, convince them that's the price we want. So what are we doing for Let's Butterfly? So let me go ahead and log in here. So I don't have a home. I'm going to press this plus button on the bottom here. Here's an example of a home that I have already pre-filled. I can hit continue, and the app will download and research that particular home, do comps, download property information right there at the spot, and boom. The number you see at the top is what we recommend for you to sell the home. And there's other cool things too. Now, if you're curious, you can click and touch the top corner over there, boom. These are all, for example, the homes that it detected around the area, whether they're exact matches, close to matches, or ones that are actually pretty outside the matching criteria. And you can scroll down and see them all. So we have here some close matches and some that are pretty much out there. The cool thing about this, I can enable and disable any of this, and you can see the number changing right there. This is happening right this on the phone. All the computation we just talked about, right there. You can even, if you would like to try any of these, and you can see that also makes the effect. So this is pretty cool. Now, if you want to go know exactly what's going on, I can even touch any of these and will tell me the adjustment details, the differences in the bedrooms and bathrooms and things like that, and the pricing that actually came out to match the home that you're in, which is really cool. This is very nice. This is easy to consume and very quick. Now, this is not enough. This is just purely data. In this case, let's say the client had upgraded their kitchen. They went to a Sub-Zero appliances, which probably cost about $20,000. So I want to touch the kitchen and say, hey, you guys, touch that. And I have a bar here for age, quality, and condition. I would say the ROI on this home is about $10,000, so I just swipe to $10,000 and update. And you can see the plus sign right there on the kitchen. And you know what? I can go into appearances or even features. They added a pool, so I'm going to go ahead, add a pool. I'm going to say, because of the pool, I'm going to say that's about $7,500 extra. Update, and you can see that change right there. Everything that I'm doing here is also shared with the client, so they can know what's going on and understand why their home is valued as it is. I can hit back to the more at the bottom, and you can see it added the information I just changed to give you a full summary and understanding of what's going on. We're not even done yet. Before selling a home, it's not always perfect. So I could go ahead in the bedroom and say, you know what? This needs some painting and some cleaning. So update, and you can see there's a wrench icon that shows up. And for the other bedroom, it probably just needs some cleaning and also wanted to do. I can swipe back. Curb appeal is very important. So I can touch that and I can say, you know what? You need to do some pruning outside, just a little bit, and do update. Now, this, already in few minutes, I was able to not only evaluate the home, but even have data that is hyper-local that won't even be existing without this at all. So I can go ahead and save this, and here I am. And I can see this is the home and the things I need to work on. Phase 2, which is the most friction that we have realized here, is that how do I get these jobs done? We've been working with local services to productize a lot of their services in a way like Amazon does. So today, if you want to search for a light bulb in Amazon, you get a light bulb with the price and when you're going to get it. If you want to fix a light bulb in the local service arena, you will just get a list of companies which you have to call and you may have to get a quote. And this is just a huge friction. And we want to reduce that. The cool thing about this is just hit Add to Marketplace, find the services that's critical to you, and here we are. Here are all of them. Here's the pricing. Here's the rating. I can add them to my cart, and I'm good to go. This is Let's Butterfly for you guys. So we do believe that with all the components working, will help value the markets much higher, including the home. Thank you very much.
Drawbridge, and they actually won the pretty much best in show. So they're going to show you theirs. Ashish's team won as well for best use of listing data. He's going to show tomorrow because I know there's bars downstairs. Reception's going to be at Zillow, hosted by Zillow at Searsucker around the corner at 5:30. So we're going to let you all see my Drawbridge's entry, and then you all are welcome to head out, and please make sure you hit up the reception at Searsucker. It's a couple blocks away. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for your time. My name is Kalen Kennedy. I'm an architect developer.
My name is David Saborio. I'm kind of a permit zoning wonk guy.
And we are Drawbridge. We're a team, in addition to ourselves, of programmers and real estate professionals. And we've come together to draw bridges between the disparate information that developers and real estate investors need to make informed decisions. We know that for every given deal, there have been 1,000 duds that you've worked through. And for every time you work through a deal, you've been a cost estimator, a code consultant, a designer, myriad of hats that you have to wear that make that effort kind of strenuous. So what we've done is we've sought to ease that pain point, and we've sought to save your work as you move through the process. So we'll start with the map. We've created a nice user interface that everyone's familiar with. Here we are in San Diego, and we're able to quickly surface the different overlays that exist in the city. In this case, I'm sort of a transit priority guy. I like dense, walkable cities. In addition to this overlay, I get to reduce my parking count. My value is going to increase. My buildings are going to be better. So let's focus here. This is where I usually start my effort, my search for my site. But I don't only want to know where these areas are. I'd actually like to limit my effort to the places where they exist. So let's filter over 3,000 parcels in the city down to just transit priority. Furthermore, I do apartment buildings, so let's make it so we only see multifamily. Okay, so we've already reduced our effort immensely. There are no longer anything outside of the RM zones in this case, and everything is within the transit priority zone. I also know that I like to do a slightly larger building, so we're going to go ahead and filter by FAR. This is a place where my investors are comfortable, and it's a building scale that I think is great. So here we go. We're going to filter the noise even more. And now we're within a reasonable place where we can start to visualize the value that we have within the city.
So what we can see here is a 3D representation of potential value of a property. The extrusion heights here are showing the number of potential dwelling units that are available for this site. And what this means is when you see something with a low height, there's probably a handful of existing units there, whereas when you see something with a much larger height, either that zone is such a more dense zone that more units are permitted, or that there's nothing there, potentially a vacant lot.
And this is a way of visualizing value that we sought fit for this exercise. In future iterations, you'll be able to choose what you find valuable in your city and generate visuals based on that. So now that we've had some fun with 3D, let's go ahead and see what's on the market. Not much today, huh, David?
Doesn't look like it, Kalen, but again, this is just today.
And that's all right. We're not going to change our business model. We're not going to start looking for industrial warehouse property. Drawbridge is going to remember our filters. It's going to remember the parameters and the properties that we like, and it's going to send us filtered results as soon as they hit the market. So now let's go ahead and dive in for what is available. With one click on a parcel that is both for sale and meets all of our parameters for project types that we like, we see all the parcel attributes that we need for a first blush analysis.
So in this case, what we can see here is that we've got a parcel that's roughly 6,700 square feet. The asking price is $620,000, and we've got a total living area of 1,152 square feet, 3 bed, 1 bath, 1 unit, zoned RM2. In addition to that, for us zoning and policy nerds, we've got all of the assessor's parcel information that we could really desire. In this case, showing a legal description, telling us the document that created the parcel, the date that the parcel was created, or that the grant deed was altered. And from this point, we can start to begin a pro forma.
So again, we don't like to just know what the information is. We like to work dynamically with it. So with one click, we're going to take all of those attributes within this parcel and apply them to a pro forma. And by including everyone's favorite variable, rental income, we're going to quickly see what the value is. Show me the money, David.
You got it. So in this case, we can obtain that property for the asking price they're interested in, $620. We can understand that at the rental income that we put in, which was $2,500 a month, that we've got a net operating income of $22,500. And if we were to purchase this property unlevered, we'd have a return of 3.6%.
And so this is a baseline pro forma that we've put together for this. In future iterations, some customizability would be to choose the attributes that are of interest to you. So you could make this pro forma look however you want. What's important is that it's a consistent framework and it's a constant graphic that you have. So let's go ahead and see what else is off market, because this one's not looking so great right now. In the same way that we're able to evaluate on-market property, we can click on anything that's off-market, again, already filtered with all of our parameters. And in this case, because it's unlisted, we're going to go ahead and make a little gut guess at what we think this parcel's worth.
I think we can just use 650, similar to the other parcel we were looking at. In this case, we've got an existing building there that's about 3,000 square feet. And if we say that we can just use 2,500 square foot as a monthly income. We can get to that valuation very quickly.
So with just 2 more variables, we've been able to compare 2 properties in about 30 seconds. But what did we have for that first round? Do you remember?
Kaylin, you know I cannot remember anything ever. I've got all kinds of napkin performas everywhere. My pockets are full of them.
But can we compare them side by side?
Sure can.
Awesome. Okay, so how are we looking? Neither of these is really attractive right now.
Yeah, and we're not really too interested in just purchasing a property and holding it without improving it at all.
Can we add buildings?
We can. So I'm going to pull up 2 examples that we've created previously. And here we can see that this is a property on 2523 L Street. We've simulated an 8-dwelling unit project, and we are willing to offer $1 million for it. This is the makeup composing the building itself. We've got 4 units at 1,000 square feet, making up building 1, and we've got 4 units at 1,000 square feet, making up building 2. We've got a hard cost variable, and we've got a monthly income variable. And again, we want to get to valuation as fast as possible. So in this case, if we were to purchase this for, I believe, $1 million, we'd have a total development cost of $2.5 million. We'd have a capitalization rate of 5.6, and if we were interested in looking for some type of refinance loan or permanent loan, we could assume a 5 cap, and we'd have a value of 2.8 million, and we'd have a margin of 12.5% for this particular deal. Now, just because we've analyzed this one property, what's always important to us is to be able to isolate variables that we find interesting. So very quickly, we can change 1 or 2 numbers and pull up what would we be looking at if we could offer 1.25 million as opposed to 1 million. In this case, an additional purchase cost of 250,000 really only affects our capitalization rate by about 0.5%. So what's interesting to note here is that we are using the same location and we are using the same building makeup, but we are changing the purchase price. Similarly, we can change location, keep the same building, keep the same purchase price, and still have a look at that valuation. Here, we're seeing exactly what we expect. If we were to pay the same amount for the land and we were to use the same buildings, we could probably get to the same cap value, and obviously our total development cost would be similar. What we really kind of find interesting about this is that we can start to add additional land costs, let's say closing costs, and let's just say that we want to do some type of additional $10,000 in site work, and we can come back to that valuation and see what that did to our pro forma.
And again, all these variables saved in the same template, in the same format, easily comparable.
Yeah.
So future integration for Drawbridge that we see, next steps, would be BIM integration, so that as you've selected a parcel within all of your parameters and you start to develop a design, that model could then feed directly into your project. So rather than the napkin sketch unit count and makeup that you see here, you could start to quantify the building as it's modeled and affect the cost within your pro forma. We will also include a comp crawler for both for sale and rent. So as you start to drive down to particular parcels, you'll know exactly what to pay and what your rental incomes would be for that neighborhood. And then an obvious next step would be to include financing mechanisms and ways of evaluating that against your pro forma. Thank you.